The day after Mother's Day, it's the key day for me in 2018. She said, I've just got to tell you something, and I don't know how you're going to react. And I was like, what? She goes, I'm afraid of you. And I went, what? What? It's been 11 years in my house. We've been through fighting, we've been through love, we've been through sickness and everything. And sickness with a dementia lady is really intense. Why are you afraid of me? She goes, I don't think you're going to take care of me anymore. And I was like, oh, that never happens. I'm still here. I'm always here. And she goes, I'm just afraid. And I was like, what did you do, Mom? I try to turn things into more positive, joking manner. What did you do, Mom? Rob a bank? Did you kill somebody? Am I adopted? And she went, "Ugh, why did you say
No
that?"
way, you guessed it?
I did. I
Oh my
did.
gosh.
Like, I have no idea why.
Okay, I just want to ask you, growing up, you had no feelings of which one of these things doesn't belong, or I'm
Well,
not like these folks who are around me.
yeah, I didn't have any of that genetic mirroring or anything. I'm tall and large. I am big boned. We had reasons for everything. I didn't feel like I belonged. I didn't think like they did. I didn't see the world like they did. And my life sister, Betsy, was like 4 foot nothing. She's like 5 feet now. And I'm 5'10". So I have a picture of my college graduation where everybody is 2 feet shorter than I am. My mother is a little bit tall, my adoptive mother.
Okay, so I've said this before on the podcast. People attributed my color, my light color, and my black family to my great great grandfather, who was a white slave owner. And it just happened that I came out so light, right? So, did they have a reason for you?
A fluke. I'm just a fluke.
Oh, you were a
There's
genetic.
my adoptive mother and father both had blue eyes, and I have hazel. My adoptive sister has these really deep, dark brown eyes, and blue is recessive. That was the answer. We were flukes. My adoptive father passed away when I was 8 years old, and my sister was 10. Betsy and I are not related to each other biologically. So my mom had a lot to deal with no skill at all. She was born in 1925, so it was Depression era, and psychology was not a real science. There was her church and her family, and I hesitate to say anything negative, but there's some dysfunction in that family, to put it lightly.
So your mom's dementia at this point.
Yes, and she told me I'm adopted. So I go
And you
upstairs.
guessed.
Yes. Oh, and of course, the first thing I do is tell her, I'm still here. I'm not going to leave you for that. I think that's wonderful. I wish you had told me a long time ago. I would have thought more of you. I got her settled down and she went to bed and everything's fine. Blah. I go upstairs and I tell my husband, Paul, and he said, you are not. She has dementia. He has been my hero through this. He just keeps me laughing. And as it turns out, her entire family knew my entire life that I was adopted and that my sister, Betsy, was also adopted 2 years before me. They never told us because my mother had asked them not to.
And the don't ask, don't tell policy was certainly in play.
Oh, there's so much more in play. Also, I said there were dysfunction there. There was ego and attention seeking behavior and all that rivalry with the girls of the family.
So it just dawned on me, you just said your older sister was also adopted. Did you have to tell her? Paul, your husband's like, she has dementia. Your mom's crazy. That's not true. So, how do you verify this? What's next for Brenna?
um,
What goes on in your head?
I knew she was sincere. I knew she was lucid. I believed her. I knew it was the truth. But I texted my cousin, who's older than I am, who's like the patriarch of the family on her side, and I said, how long have you known I was adopted?
Oh, not even a question. Not am
Not,
I, just a
mm-mm.
statement.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because my mom said that she had only told her mother, who raised my cousin. So I'm like, there's no way. Just no way.
Mm-hmm.
And he called and he confirmed. And then we had a really long conversation. But my sister, Betsy, had just had some issues and was in the hospital. And I was afraid to tell her because I did not want her medical issues to become worse. So, being the caretaker that I am, I waited and I set up with her friend to be there when Betsy got home from the hospital and was okay and blah, blah, blah. And I was going to tell her then just to make sure her friend was available in case something went wrong. And then I told her,
I just want to pause for a minute because we have to have all these really awkward, difficult conversations. You just had to tell your sister she's in her 50s too.
yeah, she's 2 years older than me, so she was
Yeah.
56.
Yeah. That, oh, by the way, and I get this question, should I tell I'm going to upend somebody's life? How do you answer that?
At the time, with my sister, I knew she was a little fragile physically and emotionally. There's some stuff going on. I was really careful and I prepared her. I have something really big to tell you, and I want you to sit down and I want you to have a glass of water and I want you to have your wits about you and not be distracted. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, Mom told me that we are adopted. And then she was like, What? No, no. And it went from there. We, because of Mom's situation, we had gotten closer too. So we had a good exchange. She was angry. Her first response was she was enraged about it. No, I wasn't mad right away. I still had Mom to take care of in my face, 93-year-old lady with a whole bunch of stuff. So the rage came later.
So you skipped denial and went straight into anger. She did
She
for the
did.
stages of
Yeah.
grief,
Yeah.
which we
Well,
all process those differently, but we definitely do go through the stages of grief.
yeah. Yeah, that was a tough. The first thing that happened for me when Mom told me was something lined up for me within me. I aligned, it came into focus, something was right. I was just like, oh, aha, that explains it.
The number one word I hear from late discovery people is shock. And then the number two word is validation.
Yeah, yes. And oh boy, is that validation a life changer. For me, the things that are me were usually inconvenient or not important or totally unrealistic for our lifestyle. We lived in suburbia and I liked horses. So that wasn't going to work. And so it wasn't have a model horse and play with your friends. So, that kind of stuff.
And not having that genetic mirroring is a big thing because you don't see yourself in the people you're growing up.
My best friend actually liked horses too, so we played horses together and stuff. And she actually ended up being a horse rescuer person out in the West.
So you tell your sister it's the next step for you in the process of your late discovery adoption.
My husband, my hero, found that Pennsylvania had recently passed the legislation saying that, oh, you can get your original birth certificate now in 2017.
I'm not sure most people know that when someone's adopted, it's like the witness protection program, right? When you're adopted, because you're issued a new birth certificate, which is a lie, stating that these two individuals, your adoptive parents, gave birth to you. They change your name, sometimes change your place of birth, and sometimes date of birth, even. So some adoptees even discover a different birthday. So the whole thing is your sign is out the window. So it and this gets locked away. In most states, about half the states now allow people to access their original birth certificates. For a lot of people, it's kind of like the lottery as to whether or not you can get your original birth certificate.
That's amazing to me. There's some things I thought we had moved beyond. And when you say witness protection, I'm like, who are we protecting? That's the one thing my mom said was that she didn't tell me because she was trying to protect us. And I don't know from what, except the stigma of what she thought it was back then. which it is not now. In my view, it's not.
And that's protecting her, not you. You won the lottery. You were born in a state where the birth records were open.
Yes. And so we rode off and sent our little money to Pennsylvania. I sent it to Betsy and she did hers from there. We were both born in Pennsylvania. And she came down in July and they had already done the ancestry DNA test. And they were talking me into it. But at that point, I was so busy with mom to her birthday and she was going into hospice care. And so in September, she passed.
Did she have matches?
We really didn't know exactly what we were doing. She did have matches, but she was trying to sort it out. The DNA people were trying to help her.
It's a huge
Really
learning
good.
curve. It's not like we all know how to read
No,
those results.
no, no, it's not. I did the ancestry. I got the matches and I was messaging my matches. And one of them messaged me back and he said, do you know these names? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I'm new. I don't know any names except this one. Do you know this one? And he said, oh, yeah, that's Aunt Carol. She lives out on the coast with her two daughters. I was like, wow. And that was her. That was my biological mother.
Wow. So you found her rather quickly.
Yes. And when I talked to them, because he gave me phone numbers and everything, they said, we've been looking for you for 50 years. Is that not the perfect thing to say?